It's back-to-back nights on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Coming at you on a Saturday night with our first mock draft. All Denver Broncos mock draft. I need you here, Broncos country. Help us make those selections. We're going to get this started right about now. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Man, it's a Saturday night. My name is Keith Brugman. It was kind of crazy. We're a little bit late. Rainstorm came in, then the hail started coming in, and I didn't even know if we'd have internet. But I'm here for you, Broncos country. Can't wait to be talking with, I guess, a surprise co-host for this evening. I said last night, if anybody was on there, Jody, I'll let you talk more tonight because I'm going to be talking with Trevor all on Saturday. Lo and behold, Trevor can't make it. Jody's here. We get more of Jody, man. But I'll tell you what, he's the OG. He's the original. He's the judge himself. Can't wait to kick it with you, man. How you doing this evening?
Doing good. 2 weeks away from draft night. Well, less than 2 weeks now. Excited for that and ready for football season to start.
I'm ready for it to start too, man. I'm ready for the draft. I was doing my draft preparations. We here at the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast, the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, when we go all in for the Pick Is In draft show, we divide out our categories. So I've been looking at running backs. I've been looking at offensive tackles. I've been looking at quarterbacks. I got to be honest, I haven't dug deep into my kickers as of yet, but I think I'll be able to get my homework done in time. I'm just saying. So I'm excited because, a little bit of that might help here. That running back group, as I'm looking through it, watching over it, going through all the tape, watching all the film. It's obviously one I kind of have my eye on, my ear to the ground on. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a interesting mock draft tonight, and we'll get a little bit more into that later. Jody, I forget what positions you were given. Any positions that you've been really digging on as of lately? I know it's mock draft season right now, but like you said, the NFL draft is less than 2 weeks away, man. It's pretty exciting.
Linebacker for me, just because I feel like that's the one spot that we're the weakest depth-wise and that type of thing. So,
yeah, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah, we need to.
I always wanted to punch that lady in the face when she'd say that.
I think that was the whole point.
Not literally, but
yeah, we're not advocating for any type of violence at any level. But no, I understand, man. It was, it's good to be annoying sometimes. There's plenty of sportscasters out there that do just that and get paid a ton in doing it, just being annoying. Let's face it. So, yeah, I'm glad I'll be able to lean on your expertise, man. We'll see how this goes. First and foremost, man, just because of the way everything's going to work out, I'm not going to be able to put comments up on the screen, and I'm the only guy that can do it on screen right now to put comments up on screen. Once the mock draft starts, I'll be watching. I'll be conversating off to the side. I'll be seeing all your comments as you come across on the different platforms, or at least I'll be trying. But keep that in mind, man. I want to get everyone's thoughts, their opinions on this as well, man. As we go round for round, we are going to put all trade possibilities on the board, I guess you could say. Jody's really going to be running this in a lot of ways because he's going to be the guy that's going to say, "Wait, pause here, man. I want to see if we can trade up. I want to get Kenyon Sadiq. Let's say, um, let's see if that's a possibility, or the guy that he likes." I'm gonna let you kind of run the show a little bit. Like we said, it's a little bit funky the way this is going to end up working out, but I can't wait to get this started, man. I haven't done a whole lot of mock drafts. Jody, you been doing many?
I've done a few, but since we traded our first round pick away, I kind of you got to dive into the weeds a little more as you get round 2, 3, 4. So
Yeah, you sure do. With seventh round draft picks, you really got to dig into the weeds, man. If you're going to figure out what the Broncos are going to do if they stick with all their selections, we'll see if we stick with all our selections. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Broncos country, posse members, please by all means play along. Can't wait to get this started. I'm going to get everything switched over down here. Ooh, I got to switch it. This is going to be funky, guys and gals. So I'm going to put this up on screen and then switch it over real quick. So ready, 1, 2, 7, let's go. There we go, and there we go. I always got a smile out of people when they said, "Okay, can you take a picture?" Okay, 1, 2, 7. You know what I mean? And like people are like, "What?" You know, at least get a different look. All right, man. We're doing mock draft hero. This is what Trevor had suggested. That's what Kenny had been running as well. Interesting. I played around with it a little bit. Really good. I was shocked by this, man. Really great interface. If anybody is out there looking for a mock draft simulator, the one thing I dislike is more and more of them are getting set uh, to like one, and then you have to pay or upgrade and stuff like that. This is endless, so love that a lot. I'm just making sure I can comment. You see all the comments that might be coming in, and trying to get things lined up here real quick. See where we're at. Like comment that maybe here, but maybe not. I'm just gonna see. Anyway, we're going to get this started. I'll see if the comments come rolling in. I thought I saw one come in, but now it's not popping, and that's going to be the fun of this. We're going to go ahead and choose our team. Only one team that we're interested in right here. It's the Denver Broncos. We're going to go to full 7 rounds, and we're going to be every 1.5 seconds. It's going to come up with a new pick on here. Anything else we need to do? I don't think so. We got our round and picks coming on over here, and then our board on this side as well. Anything before we get started, Jody?
no, I can read a few comments. Phil McLaughlin, good evening, Keith and Judge. Would you take Anthony Hill Jr. at 62 if available?
Mm.
Linebacker
You
from
were
Texas.
you were just talking about all your studying on linebackers. Give me your thoughts, man, on Anthony Hill Jr. and if you value him at the 62 spot.
Yeah, because I think that's the position I'm leaning at 2 right now is middle linebacker.
Okay.
Unless you do some sort of package and you move up for a guy that you're just in love with,
All
and
right.
he falls in that. There's about 3 or 4 guys that I'm interested at 62 at linebacker to take there.
Very good. That's what's going to be fun about this, man. We'll be able to pause things, see where things are at, make decisions, make choices. I was talking earlier. Can't remember if it was on air or before we went on air. You know, if it's Kenyon Sadiq, and we want to pause and take a look and see if we want to trade up for him in the first round, we can do so, Jody. So the draft is going to be in your hands. It's going to start in 5 seconds once I hit this button, which is right about now, my friend. Hope you're ready. As we see Fernando Mendoza and David Bailey, Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain already off the off the board. Carnell Tate, wide receiver, first wide receiver taken by the Cleveland Browns. You think Carnell Tate is a top 10 pick in this draft, Jody?
No, but I also don't think that there's a true number one wide receiver in this draft either. So,
Could see somebody reaching into the top 10.
uh, I mean, that's a Browns pick, I guess.
That
I mean,
does look like a Browns pick.
You got Jerry Jeudy there already. You got a lot of holes on that team, and I don't think wide receiver is one of them, or as big as a lot of other spots.
Gotta like the way this kind of started off, though. Obviously, Mendoza to the Raiders, edge rusher to the Jets. I might question whether David Bailey is the biggest need right there. Offensive tackle, big need down in Arizona. Be interesting. Ruben Bain, edge. That's pretty high up here for a lot of people, I think. I don't know if we're getting a big run on edges already. Arvell Reese, that's the one that. Do you think that Kenny would be happy with Arvell Reese at the number 5 spot here, with everybody else that's maybe still on the board as well?
No, because they're talking trading Kayvon Thibodeau. So why would you add another outside linebacker into the mix?
Very true. Very true.
Plus, I find this draft already kind of wonky. I mean, I think Julian Love's going 3 or 4.
Oh, Jeremiah Love?
Sorry, Jeremiah Love.
It's like,
I
man,
mean, so right now you're
weeds.
seeing, I think right now you're seeing trades and different type of stuff
that would be on in the mix.
Yep.
Yep. All right, we'll resume this, see what ends up happening, see if it ends up normalizing it. Oh my gosh, man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? There we go, finally. And this also doesn't make sense. Man, I almost want to restart this draft. This is crazy draft, man. Jeremiah Love, number 12.
Yeah,
overall.
He's not falling to 12, and I don't think it's really a need for Dallas either.
I know we just got
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I know that we just started this. I'm going to reset this real quick, and I'll see if I can do any filter change in here. So let me see if I can, because you're right, man. This got a little crazy, man.
While you're doing that, I read a few of the chat. Pearl just said a quick hi. I'm exhausted, busy day today. Time to relax. Night all. Thanks for checking in. Hopefully everything went well today. And then she said, so hi and goodbye, all in the same.
Very good. Good to see you, Pearl.
And then Kenny checked in and said, love this because you can add players in a trade.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We'll put our randomness lower. And just doing a few changes in the background. See if I can get a little bit better results in this, and we'll pick it up from here. All right, restarting in 5 seconds since we went so crazy. Other than Fernando Mendoza going number 1 overall, it was kind of pretty wild. So, man, it's still doing almost the exact same thing, my friend. We're gonna let this kind of run a little bit and see where this goes. We're at the 12th overall pick. We can go through all the names real quick. Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey, Francis Maligoa, Arvell Reese, Mansador Lillane, Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, Ruben Bain, Gerard McCoy, Sonny Styles. Could see Sonny Styles to the Bengals. Jordan Tyson, Monroe Freeling now to the Cowboys, and your boy is still on here, man. This is pretty wild. We're obviously not trading up for Jeremiah Love this early, and I don't think we could.
These teams in the middle of the round are just loving this because you can trade up now and not have to give up as much. And
oh yeah. I mean, guys, teams in the 20s coming up into the mid-teens like this would be a dream come true. So we'll see. This is insane, man.
18.
Uh,
Yeah,
18th overall, Jeremiah Love ends
whatever.
up.
I mean, I don't think he there's no way he falls out of the top 5, but
Yep.
good for Minnesota.
Um,
Good for Minnesota.
Spencer Fano end up going to the Rams. Ione, interior offensive lineman to the Ravens. Could definitely see that. Edge rusher Messador to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver to the Jets. Caleb Downs, safety to the Detroit
See, I'm
Lions.
still
And
gonna say Ty Simpson. That's it. I've said that for a while. I think the Jets are gonna take him.
I think it makes a ton of sense myself. Also, it would make a ton of sense for the anybody at 18 to pick up Jeremiah Love, I think.
Well,
So,
what doesn't make a ton of sense is I think what's he have, like 12 starts or 15 starts? Ty
yes,
Simpson. I mean, that's that's not a lot of starts to draft a guy in the first round.
yeah, it's not a Phil Parcells or a Sean Payton model. That's for dang sure. So you're absolutely right as far as that's concerned. Um, Kenyon Sadiq is still on the board. It's the 19th overall pick in the draft. The Cowboys could be interested, obviously, coming up. The Panthers could be interested coming up. You would you even want to take a look, or is this something that is way outside the realm with what the Denver Broncos have at this point?
I think it's still way outside the realm.
All right, brother. We'll keep it rolling then. See what ends up happening here.
Plus, I will float out. I mean, Sadiq is the best tight end in this draft, but he is not a Colson Loveland or Tyler Warren tight end. So
Mm,
just keep that in mind. Just because you are the best in this draft doesn't mean that you compare with other tight ends from other years. The same with Fernando Mendoza. I mean, if he comes out say next year, he's probably the 6th, 7th, 8th best quarterback.
mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 much to be said about that. You're absolutely right. And I got to be honest. I mean, if Ty Simpson was like 2, 3 inches taller and had another 8 starts underneath his belt, I think we'd be talking a very, very similar prospect um, to what we're seeing in Mendoza.
I mean, I
Caden, go
understand
ahead.
why he wants to probably come out this year because
Sure.
next year's quarterback class is loaded, and I bet you could see 6, 7, maybe 8 quarterbacks drafted in the first round next year,
Yeah, you come
depending
out
on
this
who
year.
all declares and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, next year is going to be wild on what quarterbacks get taken.
Yeah, you come out this year, you could be Carson Beck. You know what I mean? And that end up, you know, being in there for 6 years waiting for the right opportunity, it seems. Caden Proctor to the Panthers, Keldrick Falk, edge rusher to the Cowboys, Dylan Thieneman. Looks like a trade might have happened there for the Minnesota Vikings to get him. TJ Parker, edge rusher to the Chargers. Caleb Lomu, offensive tackle. Guy I really like, by the way, doing like some of my research. Guy I really like is Lomu. Blake Miller, big run on offensive tackle goes to the Cleveland Browns, and Cassius Howell to the Bears as we roll along and almost through the end of the first round. So,
Patrick Wilsey checking in. He says, "Aloha. Sorry, watching hockey. Tuned in late."
oh, no worries, my friend. Doing a little bit of mock draft as we're almost through the end of the first round here, Patrick. I'll resume this out. We'll get through the end of the first round. And one too far or one too early, and then we can recap this. So Denzel Boston, wide receiver to the Buffalo Bills, a place that I could definitely see. And then tight end Kenyon Sadiq, he does end up coming off late off the board to the Houston Texans, team that could be looking to upgrade at tight end as well in this draft. Wide receiver Casey Concepcion to our rival Kansas City Chiefs. Avion Terrell, cornerback to the Miami Dolphins. Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher to the Patriots. And Colton Hood rounds out the final pick of the first round, 2026 NFL draft. Tennessee, or I'm sorry, yeah, I guess Tennessee volunteer cornerback going to Seattle. Um, anything
Kenny
before?
says, see if you can move up to 44 and trade Riley Moss and 62 for Brees Hall. Uh, and you don't have to accept the trade. Just curious if it's feasible.
All right, Kenny, that's a lot of work. Let's see. We'll trade here. We're gonna propose a trade. We're gonna
So you'll give him 44
62
and Riley Moss.
and Riley Moss.
There you go.
And then I need to get Brees Hall. Draft pick values heavily favored Denver, 11-8. So we would have to give up a little bit more. We would probably have to give up. Boy, with 2 fourths and a fifth, would you be willing to give up a fourth round draft pick this year, or maybe a fifth round draft pick next year? That would be enough. Sixth round draft pick, not enough. Would you do it, including a fifth round draft pick? Would you do it at all?
No,
And
because I'm not really like that high on Brees Hall.
I'm that high on Brees Hall, but I just don't see the value in giving away all of this. You know what I mean? And potential, and and a great cornerback, and you're certainly loading up that room as it currently sits. It might be a play for the future, but it's a gambling play. I'm declining that for right now. But Kenny, appreciate you coming in, having a conversation with us, man. We're going to kick off this second round right now with the Jets with a 33rd overall pick. Is this Ty Simpson right here? Should be. There you go. They end up getting their Ty Simpson a little bit later, my friend.
One of the reasons I don't really advocate trading draft picks now is it, when you sign Bo, you're going to have guys on rookie contracts. And I think the last I seen, they have one guy that's in the rotation was it like in the true rotation on a rookie contract on the defensive side of the ball. And that was Jahdae Barron.
Yeah.
Everyone, well, Ben, I guess Q Robinson now. Other than that, everyone else is signed or is under. So you're gonna, so when Brandon Jones and some of these other guys fall off, you're gonna have to have someone there to replace them, and it's not gonna be. You're not gonna be able to just go pay like you were before.
Agreed. Dynamics are going to flip if you pay Bo Nix and pay Bo Nix what he should be paid, which is a fairly big contract. Jacob Rodriguez went off the board. I just figured I'd pause here because I saw that happen. Number 46 overall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You were talking a little bit earlier about linebackers that you wanted to keep an eye on. That's one that I wanted to keep an eye on. Would have been nice to see if we could maybe have traded up. Any other guys that you're interested in? I know that we're kind of getting into that range. We're moving up like 20 picks that you would be, looking at. I see Anthony Hill Jr., for instance, sitting over here to the side, has a draft value, 49th ranked overall. We're at the 48th pick.
I know your boy's sitting one spot ahead of him.
Lee Hunter, yeah.
Yep.
I love myself some Lee Hunter. Jadarian Price is still sitting here. The second running back hasn't went off the board. Heard a lot of people talking about Jake Galladay or Galday. Eli Stowers here. Early. I don't know. Hot pick for Trevor was Chris Brazzell. I remember him being pretty excited about him, as well as Boston. D'Angelo Pons, cornerback. I know that's not the direction we need to go. And AJ Halsey, safety out of LSU. Uh, any reason to be trading right now, or you want to let this board run out a little bit longer?
I'd let it run a little longer, and
Let it
I'll catch
run.
up on some chats. Patrick Wilsey, our first pick, is still 62. Uh, Ernie Mays, hello, Keith and Jody, go Broncos country only. Paul Schaefer says trade up.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny said all good and fair. Um, Thanks, Patrick, for the 100 stars.
Heck yeah. Thank you, my friend.
Paul says Jacob Rodriguez would be a good target, which I agree. I think you're going to have to give up at least 2 draft picks to move up that high to get him.
Well, I paused it again because a lot of guys did end up going while you were just started talking for a moment. Jeremy Bernard, Mason Thomas, they went. Jennings Dunker, a guy that I've been looking over offensive tackle. Surprised he'd be going quite this early. Danny Dennis Sutton, AJ Halsey, the guy we just talked about, D'Angelo Pons, Jay Galday, Derek Moore, Christian Miller, and then Lee Hunter went off the board. We're sitting at 57 right now with the Broncos at 62 and Anthony Hill Jr. still out there. Do you want to make sure that you get this guy
Now's
before?
when I would consider trading up,
All right.
because
We'll
I
take it.
think there are some guys that they are going to look at. Hill Jr. one. I think Price is in play. I think Stowers is in play.
All right. So we're obviously trading second round draft picks, going up to number 57. They'd take 62. What do you want to throw in? We're really close already. It's 9-8 in favor of us. We could force a trade. We don't want to do that per
You
se.
could throw in one of your 7s, see if that gets you up that high.
All right. We'll start with our first 7th, which does not move the needle enough, my friend.
The 6, maybe.
The what?
What, you have a 6, don't you? Or no, you
No,
got a
we
5.
got a
You could try
fifth.
5.
You want to do a 5th? That's going to go way in favor of them at this point, or 10-9. So, what do they have? Do they 4th,
And see if they'll
129?
flip you back like an. Uh,
They have a 4th and a 7th, or a future pick.
you could roll with 4 7s, I guess.
Whew, brother, I don't want 4 7s. I doubt. Yeah, that's gonna. The 4th is gonna flip it back. Obviously, the other way. Future 6th puts it about even.
We could do that.
Future 6th. Oops, I can't do all of those. Oops.
See, the one that I keep saying middle linebacker, but I really haven't heard Denver come out and say that that's a strong position that they're targeting. It's just me putting 2 and 2 together with your depth. But I know they like and I can't think of his name, the special teams guy they kept on last year. They like him a lot.
Okay.
Lavelle Bailey's still around.
Yep.
If Jonah Ellis pans out there, then it's probably not as big of need. Drew Sanders is still floating around. I don't know how they obviously feel enough about. I mean, obviously they feel good enough about him that he was practicing in the playoffs and that type of thing. So
I got Anthony Hill Jr. on the board. I got Eli Stowers. Did we do this all for Anthony Hill Jr.? You feel that good about him, even though sounds like you're talking yourself out of this trade?
No, that's the guy I would lean towards. I don't know where. I know Denver's met with Price. But I think it would be one of the Anthony Hill. That's where I would probably go.
Yeah, it sounded like it. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't jump
you're good.
the gun on that a little bit. So, hey, your buddy Jadarian Price went at the end of the second round there, my friend.
Even Stowers, I mean, I thought it was kind of a weird thing yesterday that whoever said that they were surprised that they were able to get Adam Troutman back because they lost their tight end coach and they thought he was going to go with them. And for them to keep him, that they felt, however they worded it, that they felt lucky that they were able to keep him, and I just thought it was weird that they were praising Troutman that much.
Hmm. How do you like Kyle Lewis? He just went number 80 overall to the Baltimore Ravens in this particular one. How do you feel about Kyle Lewis?
I like him. Pitt had a very underrated defense this year. So yeah, it fills a need. I mean, they've got a defensive head coach now, so
It does. I'm hoping he can play past his size. He is a smaller guy, and it could end up being that guy that plays more safety linebacker hybrid type of role. But it would sure be nice to see him because he's pretty dynamic when he's on the field. What he can do. So hopefully that
for
translates to the NFL as well.
for a middle linebacker, do you want more of an Al Wilson type, or are you more on like a smaller speed guy that can cover?
Uh, that's a great question. See, the more tape I watch of last year, the more I feel like Alex Singleton performed better than what we've given him credit for over the last few years. I thought he was a lot faster. I thought he was better in coverage than we give him credit for, especially in this defense that we play. So, um, I still think we need a guy that can come downhill and plug the hole. But man, everything's so fast these days. It's a struggle, man. I struggle with it. That's why we all like Drake, the idea of Drake Greenlaw, because I think he was the potential combination of both, right? So which way do
Right.
you lean, man? And
I,
then we got
I
to
would
figure out a draft pick here, by the way.
I would like
So
a thumper like Al Wilson, which we haven't had since
Al Wilson.
uh, probably Al Wilson. I mean, I for a minute I thought Danny Trevathan was pretty good there, but really we haven't had that, and that's where Anthony Hill. I mean, he's 6'2", like 235. I mean, Al
Mm-hmm.
Wilson was 6 foot 240, so I would prefer someone like that. This defense is set up in a way. Did tight ends make plays last year? They did, but I didn't see any tight end just massively go off. Brock Bowers didn't go off in either game.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelsey, he made a couple plays, but I didn't see a tight end just blow up like we've seen in the past for 10 for 120 and a couple touchdowns. Didn't see that at all. So
Correct. Correct. I think between nickel corners, dime packages, and like I said, I felt our linebackers did pretty well. I mean, that proofs in the pudding. We did all right last year, like you said. You think about some of those matchups, we didn't get blown out of the water when it came to tight ends.
and to be
Uh,
honest, I mean nickel and dime is really your starting defense anyways.
Very
I
true.
mean, you're in it
Very-
70-75% of the time.
These this day and age. Here we are, man. Tight end, safety, running back, defensive line, wide receiver, interior offensive line. They all could be needs according to Mock Draft Hero for the Denver Broncos. Along those lines, interior offensive line, Jalen Farmer. We have here. We have running back Jonah Coleman,
Did
Logan
Mike
Jones.
Washington go off the board yet?
We can. Let's see. We're gonna filter this by position. We'll just go running back here,
He
and
must
I would
have.
say yes.
Uh,
I would say yes. I think he is gone, unless they have him ranked terribly. Yeah, I would say that he is gone.
let's see tight end.
Tight end. And we'll take off the running back. Sam Rouse. Justin Jolly, name that we all were talking about kind of earlier on, is still on
Sam
here.
Roush is almost as big as the dude that went to Pittsburgh. I
Six
mean, he's six
six,
six,
two
270
67.
almost. I mean, he's a big
He,
tight end.
he's a big tight end. Might be some inline blocking possibilities with Sam Roush. Um, Interior offensive line. I'll take a look
I
at
like
offensive tackle
I like Jonah
real quick.
Coleman. I just don't want another running back that's the same as RJ Harvey that stunts that growth. If you're all in on RJ Harvey, then fine, be all in on him, but you got to play him. You can't, because Dobbins is going to get touches. So I don't
Mhm.
need a third running back in the mix where RJ Harvey gets 3-4 carries a game. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't prove it doesn't help you figure out if he is the guy or if he's not the guy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from there, man. At some point, I do think you move on from J.K. Dobbins. We obviously didn't do it this year. We have him on, he's going to be expected to perform next year for sure. But future down the road, need to find out what you have in some guys, move on for some guys, or get some guys in the door. Um, I like Markel Bell, by the way. I think he's a pretty good prospect when it comes to offensive tackles. Really, really impressed with his tape. But I don't know if we're in the offensive line, interior offensive line. Jalen Farmer, like I said, Logan Jones in there as well. Does start to fall off a little bit, man. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it
Uh,
starts to fall off pretty
I'll
good.
catch up on a
If you
few comments. Clayton
feel
says,
free.
smash that like button and share, guys.
Thank you, Clayton.
TW says, who have we drafted for the Broncos so far? We did a trade and moved up and drafted Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker from Texas.
There's our picks right there. So
Uh, Clayton says, what about Arizona State's linebacker?
we could look at linebacker still. Double dip in the linebacker role.
TW says our whole offense needs to be more physical. I agree with that, but we're not a physical. I mean, we don't run the football, so I mean, you're a finesse team. You have an O line that's. I mean, you have blocking O linemen, but you're really set up to pass block. I mean, Garrett Bowles is the number one rated pass blocker. Mike McGlinchey, I think, was top 10. Quinn Miners is an all pro. I mean, you're set up to more of a finesse, in my opinion, than run on the
Mm-hmm.
O line. TW says Anthony Hill Jr. is a beast, man. Paul says, I think Sean has a weird rhythm or lack of rhythm in the run game. Hopefully, Webb is better running. And I agree with that. I mean, and I said that last year of Sean Payton or 2 years ago in the Chargers game when he pulled up guys from the practice squad and they were getting like the second carry in the game. I didn't understand it. And yeah, I agree. Hopefully Davis Webb will figure that out. Glenn Ashley says Farmer is a great pick to replace Powers.
Mm.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting next year because I mean they could have moved on this year and saved a bunch of money, and they chose to do nothing with his contract. They did nothing. If Powers has a All Pro or even Pro Bowl type season, what do you do there? I mean, Powers is still not. Let me look real quick. What his age? I don't think he's super old. He is. As this loads,
Jalen Farmer is a big bad boy,
I
man.
mean, Ben
6'5",
Powers is only
312.
29 years old, so it'll be interesting to see if this O line stays healthy. Like, I mean, besides Wattenberg's injury, if it stays healthy again and it's the top O line again, I kind of question if they just start moving guys to save some money.
Yeah.
Even in the beginning, when you were paying Russell Wilson big time money, O line was the first. Those were the first two guys they went and signed was Ben Powers and Mike McGlinchey. So I'm not sure that they just are ready to move on from those guys, especially if they play well this year again.
All right, man. We need to start making some decisions though, too, man. And just to let you know, if you look at my picks right here, we have 108 and then we have 111. Fall in love with two guys because we're going to be able to pick them, possibly pick them both.
Uh, Here's where I might look at running back
Okay.
because I would like to still. I don't need Jaleel McLaughlin, and I sure don't want Tyler
Tyler
Bidet
Bidet.
on the. I don't. I thought that was a wasted roster spot last year,
Okay.
so I would look there. Uh,
Pretty
I'm probably.
top
I'm
top
probably.
top two ranked are Jonah Coleman out of Washington, Emmett Johnson out of Nebraska. Those have Nick Singleton and Katron Allen both out of Penn State on here as well, but not till 130, 140-ish type of realm.
Nick Singleton would be intriguing to me. I don't. I mean, he's coming off the the broken ankle, so Whedon has done nothing. I like his size, 6 feet 220. I mean, that's really why I kind of was Mike Washington, just because of his size. I don't want another little small running back. Um, you you could look at D line. I think that's still another position.
I'll take out the running back. We'll go into the defensive line. Dante Corleone, Xavier Harris. Man, it's gotten a little bit thin already. DeMonte Caphart, Rayshon Benny, Zane Durant.
You could look at safety too, because I do think that that's another. It almost falls in that middle linebacker position. What depth is? Are you sold on Devon Keyes, your number 3 safety?
Genesis Smith out of Arizona falls right in there, and then VJ Payne, Michael Taffe. Getting real thin there.
This is where it gets tough.
It's going to get a lot tougher, man. Like I said,
think that's where I'm probably leaning safety here, because your depth there is just not great unless you're sold on. I know he's all pro, but that was all pro as special teams. So
you going Genesis Smith then?
I think so.
We'll draft Genesis Smith. This is, like I said, I'm letting you kind of roll the board, but you're up here pretty quick, man. We had a little bit of a run on offensive tackles right after us. Markel Bell, a guy I like a lot, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, and then Jude Bowery. By the way, Kenny Kirkpatrick, a Miami guy. I can't believe you haven't been talking about Markel Bell.
See, everyone keeps saying Denver needs to draft and develop a tackle. I think they already have one in the pipeline in Alex Pacheski. I think however, as long as I mean, he's 30 now. But if he starts to dip a little bit, I think you can turn right to him, and I feel confident in Alex Pacheski at right tackle. So, and then like we talked last night, at some point, yeah, you're gonna have to do something at left tackle, but I'm not. How many draft and develop left tackles are really out there? The guy from Philly, I mean, he was Jordan Mailata. He wasn't a high pick. But other than that, I mean, you're talking first and second round picks. I mean, to me, that's probably the second most important position in football. Protect your quarterback.
Yeah, I get it, man. I'll tell you, I do like Markel Bell, though. I know that what you're saying, but I think a left tackle needs to be in the mix. Like you said, I think we have potentially a guy there that could take over at right tackle. I don't know if he's an equivalent.
I have a question.
That'll be remain to be seen. But you keep talking about
for you.
Just one really quick about moving on from contracts, and when you start talking about big contracts, tackles are big contracts. These are guys that we might have to move on from in order to keep key pieces together. Go ahead, my friend.
And I'm not advocating moving on from McGlinchey or Bowles, because I mean, Garrett Bowles is a top 2 or 3 left tackle in football right now. I'm not moving on from that till his play dips. Yeah, and I don't even care his age. Trent Williams is pushing 40, and he's a top 5 left tackle still. So if Bowles wants to play till 40 and he's producing, then he plays.
I get that, but you don't always have that choice.
Right.
You have to make roster choices.
I have a question for the chat though. And for you, would you guys be happy if the answer left tackle when Bowles retires is Frank Crum? I mean, it seems like they've invested a lot in him. The fact that Alex Pacheski didn't move back into that 6th offensive lineman after he was, after Ben Powers came back, it was still Crum there. How do people feel about that? Would you be okay with Crum at left tackle?
Short answer, probably not. I mean, I love the idea, and I love this. You just got done talking about you don't you don't usually see left tackles go that late and be that productive. I guess is the best way to put it. You know what I mean? I would hope that we would have an upgrade, and that wouldn't be our go to. But I could be proven wrong.
Paul says no. TW says heck no. Crum is a mid tackle. Um, I just Denver's put a lot of faith in him, so that's why why I ask.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I get exactly where you're coming from. So far, our picks, we got Anthony Hill Jr., we got Genesis Smith, um, we have this pick at 111, and then we have three in the seventh round, man. So this pick has got to count, man. Uh, where you want to go? Are we going that tight end? Are we going that running back? Are we going that wide receiver? I'm just thinking skill positions. You know, the defensive line we know looked pretty thin when we looked at that. Interior offensive line, we do have Jalen Farmer sitting there staring us in the face. If we want to go that route right now, Logan Jones is here as well. Um,
I'm pulling the trigger and I'm just taking Jonah Coleman.
you're taking Jonah Coleman.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of almost a shocker for me, man. I knew that you like a little bit bigger back type of guy.
And that
There
pick means Jaleel McLaughlin and Tyler Bidet enjoy practice squad.
yeah, it would have to, right? It would have to. It's going to be an interesting draft, man. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to speed this up since we have a little bit further through.
Glenn Ashley says, I don't think Crum or Pacheski is the long-term Bulls replacement. I agree on Pacheski. I think he's the long-term at right tackle. Crum will be our sixth lineman on goal line type stuff for years. That's what Paul says.
I like that.
And then
Paul.
he says Crum and Bulls on double slants. I like that as well. But that goes to another thing. I mean, if he's a mid lineman and they don't have a lot of faith in him, I mean, Bo Nix's first touchdown pass against Buffalo was to Frank Crum. And you're calling that play right there to a mid offensive lineman?
Mm-hmm. Oh man. All the good guys are leaving us, man. All the good guys are leaving us.
Paul says McGlinchey is Bulls replacement. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that you want to move McGlinchey back to the left side in his mid 30s.
Yeah. Probably not the right timing for that.
I mean, we've seen teams do it. I mean, the Lions are moving Penny Sewell to the left side this year. Tampa Bay a couple years ago moved Tristan Wirfs from right to left. So, but I mean, those were number round, and they're still young guys. So, Mike McGlinchey's, I mean, he's close to 10 years at right tackle. Now you're going to move him. I'm not sure that. I mean, he did play there at Notre Dame left tackle, but that's close to a decade ago.
Little while ago.
TW says Coleman is instantly our best or second best pass protector in the whole running back room.
Good.
Which I'm fine with that because then there's no reason for Tyler Bidet to be here. He doesn't get carries, and the only reason he's here is because he pass protects.
That's fair too. We'll have a pick 246, 256, 257, man. Fall in love with three guys here pretty quickly here. Landon Robinson and a guy I really like, South Carolina, Nick Barrett as well. Sitting here for defensive lineman. Seth McGowan, a little bit bigger guy, 6 foot, 223, out of Kentucky, as far as a running back sitting here. I know that's probably not the direction we're going after already picking one up here.
I'm probably looking at D line here.
Okay. I'm liking that. Do you have a preference? I like Nick Barrett. I like what he did. They have Landon Robinson out of.
I like him too, and I like his size.
Yeah, he's a big boy. 6 foot 287.
Because at some point, I would like to see if they ever consider moving, and it'll be interesting what they do this year. Do they move DJ Jones out to the 3 and play more Roach in the middle?
Mm-hmm. That's
I
why.
that's what I would like to see.
That's why I like Nick Barrett at 6'3", 312. A whole lot of
Yeah,
guy to try to move.
I would pull the plug on Nick Barrett.
I appreciate that. My one like little bit of a pick in here that I end up sneaking in, I guess is the best way to put it. So we're right here at the end of the draft, man. Malachi Kamara, edge rusher out of Indiana, still on here. I saw him come off of a couple of boards before this. Le'Veon Moss, running back out of Texas.
I think
A&M.
now I'm looking interior offensive lineman.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll up here real quick, see if I can make.
And I think you draft somebody that can battle with Nick G, the guy that broke his ankle last year, because I think he was going to make the 53 till that happened late.
Nick Gargilo.
Yep.
Oh boy. If you know any of these names really well.
Well, I do like Reed Adams. I thought he played well at A&M.
Okay.
I think he's all right. And then I'd probably have to dive in a little more on.
Yeah, you're looking at like guys being ranked 198 to 291. There's like 100 in between these two guys. I understand why Reed Adams.
But I'd like to know too before I pick, what is Denver? Is Denver going to still try to do this outside running scheme, or are they going to go back power? Because if you're going to go back power, then I probably want a guy 310, 320 in the middle. If not, then I'm fine taking a guy 295 that is a little more athletic, that can pull and do different things. I'd like to know what kind of running style they're gonna go this year.
That's fair. Yeah, you're right, because that could change a ton. I was just going to look at defensive linemen real quick, make sure there wasn't anybody still sitting there. But
because it's rare to have somebody. You're not going to get a Quinn Miners in this round that can do it all. So
I got to say, I know he's older. Rashul Faison is a guy I really liked. He's 26 years old already. 5'11", 208, but he runs with some conviction as far as running back is concerned.
You like taking 2 running backs in this draft?
Oh no, I'm just making conversation, my friend. I'm more than anything. So,
what round are we in? 7 now?
Yeah, this is the end of the 7th right here, man. This is literally.
I mean, you could even look at quarterback. I would even consider. I've heard that they're kind of still possibly considering it.
Cade Klubnik out of Clemson is the top guy. Besides that, we'll bring up the whole roster here if it'll allow me. There we go. Luke Altmaier is still on there. Jalen Daniels out of Kansas. Diego.
Well, they did bring in I think they interviewed the guy from Rutgers.
Okay. That means almost nothing, these days.
I mean,
Diego Pavia is probably the biggest name still on here if you're willing to take that risk.
I just don't want any of the off-field, that type of thing. I don't think he really fits what Sean Payton wants. I mean, Cade Klubnik probably fits what Sean Payton wants the most. It's just he never panned out there at Clemson running that pro-style offense. I mean, that's why they moved on from Ungalele, and he just never reached expectations.
Just looking if there's any wide receivers just sitting out there.
And the only reason I say quarterback is because I think if it's a true battle and Sam Ehlinger say wins that, do you move on? If he wins that, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to keep Jarrett Stidham, paying him that kind of money to be an emergency number 3 quarterback.
No, you're absolutely right.
And they have not committed to
trade him
that.
for a late round draft pick, if nothing else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just get him off the books. You're absolutely right, man.
You could look at
Go ahead, man.
tight end here too, I guess. I mean, all these quarterbacks you can probably pick up as undrafted guys. So
Nobody I'm really in love with, man.
I think the dude from Wyoming, I thought he was all right. I mean, he played in a garbage offense and had no quarterback.
You probably know him a little bit better than I.
I think
Man,
he was. I mean, he
6'6",
was all right. And he's
249.
big. He fits what Sean Payton wants.
We doing another late tight end selection?
Yeah, I'm fine with that because I don't know how set. I think Nate Atkins is probably set, but I don't know about Lucas Kroll. I don't think his position's set.
All right. Do you want to go this direction? Because we have
I'm
the
fine
pick
with
right
that.
after this. We'll draft this, and then we have the next pick as well.
And then you can pick the next one.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Let's see. TW says Farson is also very good. Would instantly kick Bidet and Jalil off the team, I bet. Paul says we set at QB. And I think we are. The only thing that would be interesting is if, like I said, if Ellinger does, if that is a true competition and he wins it, what do you do with Stidham?
Lorenzo Styles Jr.
Yeah, I mean, he's a converted wide receiver to there.
Eli Heidenreich.
The only thing with him is I think you lose out on him, because he's got to go do his service, doesn't he?
Oh,
yeah. So how long do you lose? Not that is I don't know how long that is. If he's 2 years, do you want to draft a guy and wait on him for 2 years? Mm-hmm. I don't know I don't know how long his service is.
Logan Fennell out of Utah, edge rusher. Chase Roberts out of BYU. A couple guys that you see a little bit of tape on.
Paul says if another interior lineman, and he does. If you look at the dude from Wyoming, Caden, just if you scroll up, offensive lineman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't think of his name. He looks like one of the Road Warriors before, like in the 80s. He's got the mohawk and the beard, and when he puts the eye black on, he fills his whole cheeks up with it and stuff. I mean, he looks pretty mean. Paul says wide receiver. He also says Stiddy will be QB2. That might be one of the more interesting battles in training camp, is who is quarterback 2. I mean, this is the first time I've heard him not commit to Jarrett Stidham as the number 2 quarterback. I mean, it's always been, last year was Stidham. It was that was not in pencil. That was in pen. So Caden Barrett, that's the
offensive tackle. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, a Wyoming guy would be definitely like a pick that would make sense at the end of the 7th round as well for the Denver Broncos. So
Glenn says Carvias is a great blocker. Styles Jr. good for special teams, he also says. And Patrick Wilsey says he is a tackle, Keith.
There you go. Well, I'll go that direction. I'll go with, and I'll do a little bit more research because Caden Barnett has not been on my radar as of yet. A little bit deep in the rounds, so. All right. Let's see. Maybe do a little of a recap here. Anthony Hill Jr., number 57 overall, as we traded up out of the 62 spot. Linebacker. Expectation him going in, competing for that interior spot right away. Question mark to you, my friend.
Probably question mark, but I think it's you're getting him ready because I don't know how much long. What's Singleton, like 33, 34?
33 for sure. I know that. So
And along with, I mean, you've committed to it. So how does, the other linebacker is, I can't think of his name, the other starter.
now you're making me blank.
Anyway,
Thanks a lot.
are they committed? I mean, we haven't seen him as a full time starter ever. So
Mm.
is that, to me, that's a little bit of a question mark as well. That's probably more of why I want depth there. I mean, yeah, Stranad last year
Sure not.
was
I had
he.
Caden Stearns on my mind, so
I thought he played really well, but is he ready? I mean, they've pretty much given him. He's a starter on this team,
yeah.
so
Genesis Smith, safety out of Arizona. Expect him to be competing right off the bat, in my opinion, as well as Jonah Coleman. And then after that, it starts getting a little bit tougher. Nick Barrett, he'll have to find his way. And talk about that tight end. We went back to back Wyomings. I didn't realize that. We got a couple of teammates there. Offensive tackle and tight end. They'll be playing right next to each other on the practice squad. Gillenborg and Barnett round out
loading
the
up.
seventh round picks.
Add Frank Krum to the mix as well.
Yeah, there you go, my friend. There you go. Yeah, that would be pretty wild.
I mean, in that right there, you probably at some point could have three starters. Because I think Coleman at some point could push for us. Probably not this year, but at some point he could push. I don't, because I'm still on the fence with RJ Harvey, but like I've said, I want to. You've committed to that, so I need to see. I want him to get as many carries as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if Jonah Coleman is just your third down back, then I'm good with that.
Yeah. It's. I think there'll be, just like I said before, a kind of a turning of the page. I don't want to see. I said it on last night's podcast. I really expect big things out of J.K. Dobbins. I think he expects big things out of himself. I think he's excited in what is going to be possible, and I think he's already talked to Davis Webb about what this offense might look like. But at the same time, I also understand he's on his third contract, which doesn't happen for a lot of running backs, and he's getting a little bit longer in the tooth than he
has been as injured as he has as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to look towards the future. I mean, the nice thing I got to say, Jody, when it comes to that running back position, though, you got to feel pretty good that you've actually seen what you've seen already. You've seen what you've seen out of Jaleel McLaughlin. You've seen what you've seen out of Tyler Bidet. Those are the guys who actually you've probably seen the most of. RJ Harvey just got here. J.K. Dobbins just got here. But you kind of know what you have in those backups. So if you go with a guy like Jonah Coleman, like we did in this draft, you can feel pretty good about saying, okay, I think we know where the seating's at. It's not just a bunch of competition.
But I look at those guys and I said, you can look at J.K. Dobbins, what he did till he got hurt. I mean, he was top 4 or 5 in rushing. And even Jaleel, if you committed, I don't think Jaleel is the greatest running back, but if you committed to Jaleel and you gave him 15 carries a game, I think at the end of the season, Jaleel's pushing for 1,000 yards on this team. I mean, I don't think that it's not a blocking type thing. It's just we never committed to it. And you hear the term, you never let anyone get in the flow of the game and that type of thing. And that goes for everything on offense. I think Davis Webb was one play, it's Franklin and Bryan out there, and the next play it's Sutton and little Jordan Humphreys. I mean, there was no commitment to, and I think that is I think one of the big reasons why I think Denver didn't do a lot personnel or player personnel wise is they felt it was all internal. And I think Sean Payton did do some really self-reflecting, and he can sit there and say, I was rotating too many guys in, and I can't have my quarterback yelling at me like that. Get the play in. How many times that hurt us?
Mm-hmm. It will be interesting, man. If it does go that route, and this is kind of like days gone by, man. You just didn't see a rotation of wide receivers come in unless a guy was just gassed or injured or something to that that I don't know pathway. Same thing with running backs. You know, running backs used to have that guy, and if we get back to that, it will be a little bit wild, especially when it comes to that. You know, to have a game where it's like 80%, 85% J.K. Dobbins, and we just see him spelled by R.J. Harvey, or it's an all Cortland Sutton, Jalen Waddle, two wide receiver for the most part setup for a game, and we just don't even see a Marvin Mims or a Troy Franklin or a Pat Bryant per se. It would be a different view for Broncos fans to really get used to. But like you said, if you are kind of going down that path where you're not substituting all the time, letting that running back get into a lather, keeping your wide receivers out there so that, or for that matter, your entire offense out there so that you can keep the defense on the field. I know that was a point of contention late last year for us as well. We'd love to see more of that, but that does mean kind of sacrificing. I remember when we were all yelling, "Where the heck is Marvin Mims? We drafted Marvin Mims. We want to see Marvin Mims." But, if you have everybody else out there, sometimes Marvin Mims can't be out there as well. But I digress, man.
Which is going to be interesting to me too. Um, why I've been kind of high on Dobbins, that he's going to play 15 plus games, and I mean this is a revenge tour. Is look at the numbers he was putting up while Bo Nix was leading the NFL in pass attempts. He was still top 4 or 5 in rushing till he got hurt. And I know that those numbers got skewed more when he got hurt, but I mean, we were still throwing the ball all over the place, and he was still putting up numbers.
Yeah, agreed.
This wasn't like Buffalo where it was like 50-50. This was like 65-35 pass.
Very true. It's towards the pass. Yeah, absolutely. As we wrap up the show, I got one question for you. We went through this entire draft. We did end up doing one trade. I want to ask you this. How much do you value future picks in next year's draft when it comes to the Denver Broncos? Should they utilize those picks to move up in this draft? Again, we hope that we're maybe picking late would be my enticement to maybe doing that. Do you think the Denver Broncos use future picks 2027? Would you advocate for that in order to move up in this draft?
I mean, we did in this mock, but I really honestly don't really advocate for that because I don't know what Bo Nix is going to want next year. I mean, if you're having to truly pay Bo Nix $60 million next year, you're going to need guys on rookie contracts that are going to be able to come in and play.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Trevor's been saying about now's the time to trade Jaleel or Moss, because you're not going to probably be able to sign both of them. Same with Brandon Jones. I think this is his last year.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to find someone to fill that role. So you have some guys that you're going to have to replace, and you're going to have impact guys on rookie contracts, which they've done a really good job, in my opinion, on offense. They went out and built. They said they were going to spend money on offensive line, and they did. But look at everywhere else. It's all, besides Sutton, really, it's all rookie contracts.
I agree, my friend. I also agree that we've went over an hour. We put together a mock draft, and whether the posse agrees with me or not, man, you went warrior style, man. Reading all the comments, basically running the draft. Man, I appreciate you on this podcast. Like I said, I knew it wasn't going to be easy, just the layout that we had doing our first mock draft, man, but it was sensational. We even got some compliments from it. Some final thoughts, though, from you as we get out of here.
Just excited for the next 2 weeks. It'd be interesting to see if some more little rumors fall out of where Denver's kind of leaning or what they're looking at. Um, and then not Denver related, but congrats to DU hockey. They won the national title, so that's pretty cool. And then playoffs start for basketball and hockey, and I think you will see one, if not two, parades in Denver.
Not including the celebration that you just saw from DU, man. Right before we went live, I saw it was getting a little bit wild out there in the streets and down in Denver. Congratulations to DU hockey. I was actually on DU campus when I went to college. That was a pretty wild place even back then, as they were competing for championships. Even back then, man.
Hopefully
Can't
it just
imagine.
doesn't get as crazy as whatever the year Philly won it. The first year they were out flipping cars, and
Yeah,
I mean, you could take it to the next level. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it calm. Not too wild. It was a wild night with you, though. Like I said, my friend, I appreciate it so much, man. Great mock draft. Can't wait to be back here talking more Broncos football. We have the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast every Wednesday, every Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We have the Juice that goes live on Tuesday. They cover all 32 NFL football teams. They go live on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That we have the Pick Is In mock draft show that goes live on Sundays as well, and plenty of other podcasts, left, right, and otherwise. We're getting all prepared for the draft. That'll be a fantastic 3-day event. Hope you come along for the ride, but we got to get out of here. We're going to do it the way we always do. Make sure you keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course the Denver Broncos in your heart. Until next podcast, we're out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Mile High Salute.